090096. My supervisor for this project is Professor T.S. Dr. Nurhanis Hayati Hairul. My title for this project is Effect of pH on ZnO-MO Nanofluid formulation for industrial dye wastewater via Membrane Photocatalytic Reactor. So in this video, I would like to present about my project background, problem statement, objective of this project, scope of this project, literature review, and expected result. As for the project background, textile industry utilize a huge amount of water consumption on some of their process, including dyeing and printing process. The wastewater produced from the process are difficult to dispose, and it may release a high amount of dyes into the aquatic system. Hybrid Membrane Photocatalytic Reactor (MPR) are the method used in order to treat the wastewater. MPR is actually a combination technology of membrane separation and photocatalytic degradation process. ZnO-MO nanofluids are used to act as photocatalysts for the photocatalytic degradation process. The different pH of wastewater are utilized in order to determine the best pH value for the photocatalytic degradation process. Basically, there are many reviews have reported about the application of MPR in the wastewater treatment of different kind of wastewater. However, their effectiveness in MPR with different pH value has not been well discovered. According to CIDIC 2020, ZnO nanoparticles has shown a great performance in MPR for wastewater treatment. However, the performance of ZnO-MO nanofluid in MPR has not been confirmed. The effect of pH value on ZnO-MO nanofluid for photocatalytic degradation of industrial dye wastewater need to be studied in order to improve the MPR performance. Next, the objective of the project are to determine the point of zero charge and functional groups of the prepared ZnO-MO nanofluids, to investigate the effect of different pH of ZnO-MO nanofluids in hybrid MPR for industrial dye wastewater treatment, and to obtain the proposed membrane falling mechanism under the optimal conditions. Then, the scope of the project. Determination of point of zero charge of the prepared ZnO-MO using pH drift method and functional groups using Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy. Investigate the effect of different pH for 7.511 of ZnO-MO nanofluids in hybrid MPR for industrial dye wastewater. Analysis of the primate quality in terms of POD, COD, turbidity, and color intensity. And the membrane falling mechanism under the optimal conditions will be proposed by using the MATLAB software. Next, according to Martin Pozzo 2021, the general wastewater treatment to treat the industrial dye wastewater are preliminary treatment, primary treatment, secondary treatment, and tertiary treatment. There are three types of treatment of dye wastewater, which are biological, chemical, and physical. These are some of the examples of the wastewater treatment based on MROI 2021. As for biological treatment, it can be the activities from the microorganism and reaction from any enzymes. Chemical wastewater treatment can be oxidation, ozonation, and electrolysis. And lastly, physical wastewater treatment like coagulation, flocculation, adsorption, reverse osmosis RO, and filtration. As for the literature review, membrane separation technology is one of the effective methods to to treat the dye wastewater, especially if it is complying with photocatalytic degradation process. Hybrid membrane photocatalytic reactor that improve organic material removal by combining membrane separation with photocatalytic degradation process. It is effective in generating sustainable hydrogen by preventing the reverse reaction between H2 and O2 according to R. Moliari 2009. Next is photocatalytic degradation process. According to H. Anwar 2019, the function of photocatalytic degradation process are to minimize metal ions in wastewater, slow down microbial activities, and perform the complete degradation of organic and inorganic pollutants. Metal oxide are intensively used as photocatalysts in photocatalytic water for the generation of hydrogen in the presence of UV radiation. So the benefit of photocatalytic degradation process methods in the future include simplicity, efficiency, and the ability of using solar light. Photocatalysts are compounds that decompose the detrimental substance when exposed to UV light. ZnO has a greater response as a photocatalyst for photocatalytic degradation process compared to TiO2. The band gap energy, which is comparable to TiO2 with energy level almost the same position. Its higher electron mobility and lifetime, relatively lower production, according to N. Pizzoli 2021. So, for this study, we'll discover the treatment of industrial dye wastewater via MPR with the presence of ZnO nanofluid as the photocatalyst in photocatalytic degradation process. Next is effect of pH on photocatalytic degradation process. pH plays important roles in the photocatalytic activities of the prepared photocatalyst. According to A. Gnanapraksam research study, pH influences the absorption and dissociation of the organic molecule, surface charge of photocatalyst, and oxidation potential of the valence band. 1-0 charge PZC is basically a condition where the surface charge of photocatalyst is 0 or neutral that lies in the pH range of 4.5 to 7 depends on the catalyst used, according to Chano 2019. Next is biochemical oxygen demand, which is BOD. The amount of oxygen necessary for the biodegradation of organic materials in water was described by this parameter. It is carried out in the dark place in specific temperature, which is 20 degrees Celsius, to ensure that no light can get through the bottle, based on C. Vendico 2019. So from here you can see the graph with level A and B. According to USGS TWRI book 97 3rd edition, carbonaceous demand curve, which is the A level in the graph, represents the oxidation of organic matter, proportion of oxygen demand in bacterial conversion from organic carbon to carbon dioxide CO2. As for the carbonous plus nitrogenous demand curve, which is level B, represent the additional oxidation of ammonia, organic nitrogen and nitrate to be converted to nitrate by bacteria. This is according to IGRI 2022. So basically, these tests are used to investigate the influence and effluence from wastewater that are processed by the facilities to compute the efficiency of operation of treatment units. Next is mechanism membrane folding. According to Wisner and Apter model, complete blocking can occur when each of the particles has reached the membrane surface and start blocking the membrane for which, if the particle was considered to settle with other particle or directly blocking several of the membrane pores. As for the standard blocking, it happened when the volume decreased proportionally to the primate volume because of the deposition of particles on the pore walls and block model. And lastly, cake resistance is proportionally to the volume of cumulative filtrate are known as cake formation. It also might block several pores and deposit onto other particles. This is according to Lieber and Fulnan 2021. Next, as for the methodology, so first of all, the MPR system will be set up and the membrane sample will be wet out with RO water under 6 bars pressure for about 30 minutes. Then, after 30 minutes, the pressure will be changed to 3, 4, 5, 6 bars and times will be taken in order to get 1 ml of RO water from the MPR. Then, the time will be recorded and graph of normalized flux against operation time will be plotted to make sure that R2 are more than 0.9. If the R2 are less than 0.9, experiments should be repeated. After got R2 more than 0.9, different pH, which are 4, 7.5, 11, of industrial dye wastewater via MPR will be started and treated wastewater will be collected. Then, point of zero charge and functional groups will be determined by using pH drift method and Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy. And also, membrane performance will be analyzed. Then, the data will be compliant to standard EQA 1974 Act 127 for POD, COD, turbidity and color intensity. If the data not complies with standard EQA 1974, the experiment will be repeated starting with the treatment. And lastly, the analysis and data will be collected. And lastly, for the expected result, the expected point of zero charge of the prepared ZnO-MO nanofluid is in the range of 6 until 8 by using the pH drift method. Next, the expected best pH value for ZnO-MO nanofluids via hybrid MPR for industrial dye wastewater treatment is about 7, which is neutral as it approximates to the natural condition of treated wastewater. The treated wastewater is expected to comply with the standard waste quality parameters from the Environmental Quality Act 1974, Act 127. And lastly, the proposed membrane falling mechanism under the optimal condition are expected to be success clarified through model fitting in MATLAB software. So that's all from me. Thank you.